How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys Alex and Ryan. So today we're talking about four players, there's probably more than four players, that are dragging this offense down. And if you watch yesterday's game, you go from scoring 14 runs to not scoring at all. The Yankees are the best team in baseball one day, and Ben Wright's hitting 3 homers, and the worst team in baseball the next day. And lately, it's been a lot of the worst team in baseball. And, we hear the cliche, generic responses from Aaron Boone. Everything's ahead of us. We have to be better. We have to look inward. But meanwhile, we have guys that are not hustling to first base, not hustling to get, fly balls in the infield. We just have lack of commitment, lack of hustle, lack of motivation, and that's unacceptable for the Yankees. Not just the Yankees, but the players that play for them, right? There has to be some sort of, appreciation and gratitude for donning the pinstripes, for making millions of dollars. Not running to first base is inexcusable. In fact, it warrants consequence. And Boone lets these guys get away with murder, and it really frustrates me, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. It's one of the biggest cons when it comes to Boone. I don't think he's a bad manager by any means. There's a lot of really bad managers out there, but the one thing I do think is that he is so much for the players that sometimes he forgets that he has to keep them in line and discipline too. And I think that there is something to be said about that. But we're going to talk about some offensive, not contributors, more so offensive murderers, and as Ryan would say, murderers of worms in this lineup that are really just killing our production. Key moments, double plays, and ground balls, and not enough production coming from the bottom half of our order. So, Ryan, impressions on DJ LeMahieu. I know you could probably go for an hour about how horrible he's been, but, what is his detriment to this team? What is he doing to this team to make us worse than we've been recently?
When he hits the ball on the ground, bad things happen, right? When he hits the ball on the ground, it's with runners on, and he kills rallies. And it's weird because, the batted ball data for him isn't bad. I'm 8% barrel rate, low strikeout rate, high walk rate. But, it's kind of, what it's exactly like. And I wrote an article, and I said this specifically. This is exactly like what you had with Josh Donaldson last year. A guy who was doing good damage on contact, but was just, first off, he's slow, right? So you're not going to beat out grounders. You are a detriment, We talk about how slow Stanton is, and I kind of want to throw this in here too. Stanton is greatly missed. Stanton is woefully underappreciated by myself, by the entire fan base. That is a guy who was crucial to what we were doing, and I never gave him enough props for it, and I need to. Donaldson has 0.76 BABIP last year, right? You go, oh, he was so unlucky with the Yankees. They still cut him because he's old. Part of having a good BABIP and getting the batted balls when you need to and getting in front and pulling them and kind of all that stuff is being young and having some speed and having your bat speed intact and having all these things that LeMahieu doesn't have. He's a massive problem. When a guy is at first and he is at the plate, he is going to end the inning if there's one out. If there's no outs, he'll make it 2, right? He'll completely vanquish any chance you have at scoring. He doesn't slug. He doesn't hit for power. He doesn't pull the ball in the air. He doesn't have any of the skills you need to be an elite hitter or a good hitter. He's a worm killer. He is a worm killer. I hate to use it. He is a worm killer. He's not good. He doesn't make good swing decisions. Great defender. Phenomenal defender. It sucks because he's such a good defender that he can't hit. You know what I mean? He's such a good defender that he's a positive WAR player despite it. The bad bat. Although defensive run save doesn't think he's very good at third, but I don't agree with that evaluation. But going back to kind of the main point here, Alex, the Yankees need to identify that he's a problem, and not tomorrow, not at the deadline, tomorrow. He can't play tomorrow kind of thing. He shouldn't play tomorrow kind of thing. My job isn't to get these guys going. My job is to win the World Series. My job is to tell you guys as fans that the Yankees need to do things in order to win the World Series. I'm not going to, I think I'm usually an optimistic guy, Alex, but I got no reason to be optimistic about this profile. Can he turn around? Theoretically, yes. But can I grow 6 inches? Theoretically, yes. I'm not 21 yet. Is it going to happen? No. So talk about the hypotheticals, things that are technically possible, but if we want to be in fairyland, if we want to be in Wonderland, in the land of make-believe, let's start making believe that this team isn't 5-15 in their last 20 games. Start making believe that they don't have the worst record in baseball since, June 7th, something like that. They got to be better, and as you mentioned, accountability. LeMahieu, that's part of the accountability, him not playing. He's been awful, and he doesn't hustle, or he's not fast enough to hustle. It is what it is.
I mean, it is what it is, right? And he's regressing to a level that is almost unplayable. And look, he can be a utility man, but he can no longer be a starter on this team despite his defense, right? The Yankees aren't scoring enough runs. They're not losing because of errors defensively. They're not scoring enough runs, and their pitching has been volatile. But it seems like, Luis Gil had a tremendous performance. You can't waste. That's the thing with this Yankee team, though, dude. The problem is, they've been bad at pitching sometimes. The bullpen's been better recently in some respects, obviously irrespective of Clay Holmes blowing a save the other day. But for the most part, bullpen's been a little bit better, right? Starting pitching, a little bit better. Nestor Cortez looked solid. I mean, Garrett Cole was a little bit beat up, a couple of bad pitches, but, it mostly was good, just a couple of bad ones at Devers. And then yesterday, Luis Gil was fantastic. You cannot afford to waste bad pitching performances right now ahead of the All-Star break. We can't waste gems. And the Yankees are wasting them, right? Cutter Crawford, solid player. He's not good enough to blank the Yankees. You know what I mean? He's not good enough to blank the Yankees.
I was even blanking, dude. 54 pitches through what, 6 innings? And when
40
Luis
pitches through 6 innings. 40 pitches through 6 innings.
Nestor's great start. They wasted Heal's great start. Yep. How many starts have you gotten like that in the last 4 weeks, dude? Like, Grisham, I mean, 3 fastballs. Holmes blows the lead. And his response, 3 fastballs down the middle. Doesn't swing. Where's the urgency? I hate using that word too because I think people throw it around like nothing. Where is the urgency, Alex? Let me get you back. You can get back to your point now. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but where's the urgency offensively, dude? Where is it?
That's the thing. Where is the urgency, the aggression? You need to make something happen, and you're not swinging 3 pitches down the middle, and you don't swing. Well, that's not Yankee baseball. Since when do the Yankees do not swing and be aggressive at strikes in the zone, at balls in the zone? This is what I'm saying, though. It leads us to my next player in Trent Grisham. Grisham is an 87 WRC plus. By most accounts, sure, like that's fine for a backup. The reason he's really valuable to the team is because he's a Gold Glove level outfielder. But again, let a ball hit the ground the other day, and Aaron Boone comes out the next day. It's a bad look, but we know how good he is, right? No consequences. It's a bad look. If Trent Grisham did that and Jason Dominguez was healthy, I would have benched Trent Grisham within milliseconds and had Jason Dominguez on the road up to the majors that day. That's the type of consequence you have. You know what I mean? You have your opportunity sparingly, and you're not going to hustle. You know what I mean? You're going to watch 3 pitches go down the middle and not swing. Buddy, Jason Dominguez, if you're healthy, you are playing for this team today. You know what I mean? If we have a 1 p.m. game and it's 11, we are calling you up and we are getting you there today. That's how bad that is, right? It's unfortunate because he probably would be playing for this team right now if it wasn't for the injury he sustained. Trent Grisham, 27 years old. He's been regressing significantly in the offensive categories for 3 straight years. He's hitting 168, 292 OBP, 358 slugging. The fact he has a WRC plus of 87 is actually bewildering. It's only because he lucks into some home runs every now and then. It's a career high 31.6% strikeout rate, a 13.2% walk rate, which is really what's keeping him alive at this point in time. Trent Grisham is a bad baseball player, but he is good enough defensively to make him at least valuable for us as we wait for Stanton to return. It sucks, right? Because he's dragging the bottom half of this order down along with DJ LeMahieu. I know you're probably in the same breath saying like 87 WRC plus is fine enough for a reserve outfielder. We can live with that, but it's not good enough for this team right now. Thoughts on him, and then transition over to Anthony Volpe. We're gonna have to have a discussion about him. He has been horrible. It's not even bad, guys. Horrible at the last couple of weeks. What happened to his power, right? He was hitting 15 plus homers last year at this point in time, and now he has 6. He can't get the ball over the fence. And I know they want him to be hitting for contact, but to be honest with you, we're missing kind of that power stroke. We're missing that ability. He's got to reintroduce some power to his game, in my opinion. The extra base hits are not coming. His contact has been poor. He's striking out more. Give me your thoughts on Grisham and then transition over to Volpe, who, has just been disappointing over the last couple of weeks here.
I mean, Grisham's insanely passive, like unbelievably passive, like embarrassingly passive, like to the point where it was the most embarrassing at-bat I've ever seen. Like, it was mind-numbingly bad. That was your response. You just like lay an egg. Just don't play. Don't show up to the ballpark if you're gonna do that. Please don't show up to the ballpark. Don't show up. Don't play. Don't play. It's the same thing as not playing. If you're gonna go up there, strike. All right, get out of the box. Like, don't go play for somebody else. Then you've got, in Volpe's case, and the lack of power, yeah, and he's chasing more. He doesn't take his walks, and he doesn't hit for power. Like, I don't know what to say with him. Like, I don't understand what his model is as a hitter. Like, what is he trying to do? Right? Like, what is it you don't, like, how do I put this? With Stanton, when he goes through funks, you still understand fundamentally what he's trying to do. It's do an ungodly amount of damage on contact. That's his goal. With Volpe, like, what is his goal at the plate? Right? What is it? I don't know what it is. He doesn't have a plan. He doesn't have a plan. He's not trying to work the count. He's not trying to get on base. He's not trying to hit for power. He's just kind of up there doing fuck all, right? And it's so mind-numbing because the hitter he was at the minor league level was pulled fly balls, good swing decisions. Those are the two things he kind of nailed down. And then he just kind of went away from that, right? Like, he's stopping a pulled fly ball hitter, went away from that, as you mentioned, in the pursuit of contact. But if you're going to be a contact guy, you've got to get on base. You got a sub 7% walk rate. What is he doing up there? Like, what is he doing up there? I don't know what he's doing up there. I genuinely don't. And look, I know you can't change, like, your swing path mid-season, but him saying I'll do a deep dive after the season, no, dumbass. You got to walk more now. It's got to happen tomorrow. You got to start walking more tomorrow. You got to start hitting the ball harder tomorrow. There's no next year to do that shit. You do that now. Is Soto going to be on the team next year? Why don't you do your deep dive when your left fielder's Alex Verdugo and your three hitters Alex Verdugo? You want to do that? Is that when you're going to do your deep dive? Because if you don't get Soto back, I mean, you're kind of screwed, right? This is the time to do it. This is the time to make adjustments. Good hitters make adjustments mid-season. Good hitters take a deep dive into their process mid-season. Good hitters don't go, I'll wait till the end of the year. No, you do it now. Now, maybe, perhaps, he just wasn't trying to play his hand, wasn't trying to reveal anything. That's fine. Totally fine. Doesn't have to be public with his adjustments or his process. Totally get that. That's fine too. But like maybe I'm taking everything they say at face value too much. I feel like sometimes when they're losing, that tends to happen. Right? Like, we take everything they say at face value and it looks bad and it feels bad and everything sucks. But at the same time, like, the adjustments aren't there. You have to make adjustments. You have to be an adjustment capable of doing it, and he's got to walk more. No question about it. He has to walk more than 6.5% of the time. No question about it. 33.5% out of zone swing rate. That can't happen. He's swinging less in zone. That's the infuriating part. He's swinging less in the strike zone. He is swinging less in the strike zone, Alex. He's less aggressive in zone and more aggressive out of zone. Like, this guy is just, his pitch recognition stinks. It's bad. It's all-time bad. Not all-time bad. It's bad relative to the hitter he was supposed to be. He has to improve. He has to improve. He has to make adjustments. He has to go out of his way to improve. It is not acceptable to do what he's doing right now. He has to. There's no other way to put it. And then talking about, Verdugo, it's the same thing. I mean, look, I have no problem with him, like, taking 30 seconds to round the bases, but if you're going to do that, can you, like, play better, too? Like, can it come with good play? Like, can you not pop up and hit a weak fly ball to left field? Like, just to clarify, Grisham and Verdugo have the single shortest right field in Major League Baseball for them. For hitters like them. And they don't try to pull the ball in the air. They don't. They have a passive, like, I gotta, just pull a ball in the air to right field. Just one. And you'll see what happens. Beautiful things happen when you do that. How many bullshit home runs do you see left-handed hitters hit in Yankee Stadium? It's special. And these two guys are just incapable of doing it. I give Brian Cashman credit for bringing in lefties, but what's the point of having a lefty in Yankee Stadium if they're not going to take advantage of Yankee Stadium? There's zero advantage to it. There's nothing you get out of it. Just have a righty there at that point if they're just going to hit fly balls to left field. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really get it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, everything seems to be going wrong for the Yankees. You know, when things are great, we see all these different variables popping up in good ways. And we're like, okay, they're pulling the ball, they're hitting homers to right field, and as if from a lefty's perspective, that is similar to what Ben Rice did the other day. And then Anthony Volpe, red hot start to the season. Now he's not swinging at pitches in his zone. I don't really know what happened to him, and to be quite honest with you, it's James Rousen's job to fix that. You know, that's why we hired him. So he did a great job at the beginning of the year. But why are we going away? I really don't understand this sometimes. We know what Anthony Volpe's good at, right? We know what he's good at. Why is it that they go away from things that guys like him are supposed to be good at? Hitting stuff in zone, slapping the ball, putting the ball in play. Now he's swinging out of zone more than ever, and he's not hitting for any power. And he can't get the ball out of the freaking stadium, right? Last year he was swinging swinging with everything he had, but he was missing the ball a lot because his head was getting pulled away, and he wasn't really cemented in his stance. why can't he hit for some more power? Why does he have to be this only contact hitter? And his on-base percentage is plummeting. His batting average is plummeting. If you really want to go into the stats of it, in June he hit 220 with a 238 OBP and a 309 slugging rate, a 547 OPS. That's like we're talking about unplayable levels of production. To start July, it's gotten even worse. 120 average, 154 OBP, 200 slugging, 354 OPS. The kid just can't even see the baseball right now. It's like he just, he took his contacts out or something. I don't know what happened. Maybe he needs to get his eyes checked. This is happening across the board, though. You know what I mean? This is not a single instance. This is DJ LeMahieu can't hit the ball, or at least hit it well. Anthony Volpe can't hit the ball. Trent Grisham can't hit the ball. Alex Verdugo can't hit the ball. Oswaldo Cabrera can't hit the ball. Gleyber Torres can't hit the ball. Juan Soto and Aaron Judge, without those two guys, this Yankee team is the Pittsburgh Pirates. Probably worse, to be quite honest with you. This is a situation where if you're Brian Cashman and you have a guy and you can't waste another MVP season from Aaron Judge. You cannot waste giving up all the pitching talent, all the prospects to get Juan Soto. You cannot waste this opportunity. Ben Rice, love the kid. Got to keep giving him opportunities. They need to go get a Luis Rengifo. They need to go get a guy that is going to bring instant level production to this lineup, because the truth is, if they don't, they are cooked. They need a star caliber player to reinforce at least the bottom half of this order, or the middle of this order, while they wait for Stan to come back. You know who I'm missing really badly right now, Ryan? I'll give you a guess. You get one guess. Who am I missing on this roster right now that I never thought I'd be missing?
I think it's Stan, right?
No, it's not Stanton.
Oh, Birdie,
John freaking Birdie. I miss John Birdie. I miss John Birdie more than I ever thought I would ever miss anyone. Never, ever miss anyone. Why is it that I miss John Birdie? Because DJ LeMahieu cannot hit. John Birdie's a solid defender. Had a batting average of 270 before he went down. Dude's a good player. Maybe his WRC plus hovers around 95, but it's better than a 55, right? I think that's where DJ LeMahieu's at.
Haven't the Yankees not stolen base in like a record
19 games?
Dude,
19
isn't it 20 now?
Isn't it 20 now? Anthony freaking Volpe on their team, 20 now, and they have not stolen a base. Anthony Volpe on your team, you haven't stolen a base.
This team is way too slow. Like I don't mean this to say that like the Yankees, I don't mean this to say that like the Yankees need to like fill out the roster with speed dudes, but like they are really dude, they have the worst BSR in baseball by a pretty big margin. It's negative 6.8 for the Angels. It's negative 11 for the Yankees. The Angels are second to last. That's an unbelievable gap. You are so much worse than everybody else at running the bases. So much worse. And it's I don't know. Am I crazy for saying they should be if you're going to be a team that, you put a lot of balls in play, you kind of got to run the bases a little while, right? You got to have some element of speed. Unless you're going to be crushing the baseball consistently. And look, the Yankees do that but not outside of Judge, Stanton, and Soto, right? If you take those three guys away, you lose 65% of the team's barrels. 65% of a team's barrels coming from three players is fucking bonkers. That's awful. That's so bad. It's not good. The rest of the guys don't barrel anything. They don't hit the ball hard. And I know, it's so funny because, so many Yankee fans are going to be like, well, they strike out too much. And they don't. Or, they don't, they can't put the ball in play. They can. They don't hit the ball hard, Alex. I'd rather LeMahieu strike out. If he struck out, he wouldn't hit so many double plays. And then yesterday, Cabrera gets doubled up on a line drive. I don't know how many times it's happened to the Yankees, dude. They don't freeze on line drives. They run. They run on line drives. They don't freeze. That's Little League shit, by the way. In Little League, you get told, don't run, you freeze. It's like these guys have never played, baseball in their lives. Fundamentally speaking, why are their natural baseball instincts so bad? They're really, really bad. It's funny. It's Gleyber's the only guy who's, super aggressive and, chaotic on the base paths to the point where, he actually gets defenses to do stupid shit. But the problem is he's slow, so he can't really do much with it. LeMahieu couldn't get into a rundown, dude. Birdie gets into a rundown there. Birdie would get into it on the play that Volpe didn't score at home. LeMahieu didn't even try. Alex, he didn't even stop or run backwards and just get you know what, he's slow, he gets stopped, whatever. He just ran right through. No urgent, dude. There's nothing going on in there. He's not a vet. He's a veteran. How long has he been in the league? 12 years? Rundown? Not even thinking of a rundown. That doesn't go through his head. Obviously, Volpe needs criticism on that play too, but LeMahieu's the veteran, man. He's supposed to be a leader on this team. That's what I expect from my veterans. He's just Josh Donaldson from last year. We just don't want to admit it. He's just Josh Donaldson from last year, Alex. That's all he is. And it's literally all he is.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is just another example of kind of this team collapsing in ways that we did not foresee. It went from we are up to we are so down, like in the course of a couple of days. There's no way you can convince me that like Clark Schmidt getting hurt and Stanton going down results in this. You know what I mean? Like Stanton's solid player this season, been doing pretty well. Give him his flowers. But the Yankees shouldn't go from the best team in baseball to the worst team overnight because of losing Stanton, right? Like that's not how this should be. Gleyber Torres has been bad all year. We're seeing regression to the mean across the board, and the hot start gave us a good little cushion. But look, the season's long. There's still time for Cashman to be aggressive, and look, he has to be aggressive because the truth is, right? The truth is that you have Judge in an MVP season again. You have Juan Soto on a 1-year contract, really. They could lose him. You can't afford to part ways with all those assets. And look, prospects are only as good as they are. Like, you never know who's really going to pan out. So they need to leverage their prospects now. They have to go get some guys with a little bit of control, and they have to be ready to pay. You know what I mean? I mean, Soto, they're going to have to pay Soto. Verdugo's gone, man. Jason Dominguez, get ready, buddy, because you're playing left field next year starting, if not center, wherever they put him.
He should be playing left field in August. When he comes back, he should be playing left field.
Yep.
Verdugo, look, the defense is great. Dude, you've got
great backup. He should be the backup. He should be the primary reserve.
Trent Grisham. Guys get hurt.
Sorry,
Things
buddy.
happen. No, end of the day, man, guys have to earn their spots in this team. Like, they should. And what they did early on, what was really cool, was that they had enough depth to have guys earn it, right? And right now, guys aren't earning it, right? They aren't. Maybe you can't play. They should call up Jordan Vivas soon. Like, they should just... I think that they're on the minor league all-star break anyways. They don't have to worry about, where he is in the travel schedule or whatever. Get him up. It's not even like Gleyber's playing well anyway. It's not like Gleyber's playing so that you can't just play Vivas at second every now and then. Have Vivas second, third, let him play. I need somebody up here. I need somebody to kind of spell. I need veterans to be on the bench right now. I need some guys to sit.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to see what happens. The Yankees need to do a lot, and I think that it starts with the deadline. They need this break. But their bad players are guys that we expected much more from, right? Volpe right now, he's going through this cold stretch. Hopefully he can turn things around. Gleyber Torres has been just an absolute shot to the freaking neck, man. I mean, his performance is the difference between this team being at least competent right now and really bad. I genuinely believe that. If he was playing well, this team has some fight in them. At least the bottom half of the order, middle half of the order is not a complete liability. The fact that he's playing the way he has been and not even really playing the last couple of days because of the groin injury, it's been an absolute detriment to this team. DJ LeMahieu, I mean, the guy it should be, doing carpentry at this point. It's really bad. I think at the end of the day, guys we expect more from are not only bad, but unplayable at some position. Unplayable, right? That is where we're finding ourselves in a really bad situation. If TJ LeMahieu had a 90 WRC plus, I'd be like, okay, he can get better from there. But he sits at 55, guys. He's 45% worse than the average MLB hitter. That's unsustainable, man. Unsustainable. If you're a team running this man out there every single day. I watched Oswaldo Cabrera barrel a baseball yesterday that didn't leave the freaking stadium. You know what I mean? Maybe it was 2 days ago. I forget when it was. But as I watched him barrel up a ball that looked like a homer, I was like, oh, that's easily gone. And died before the warning track. I'm like, these guys have no power. These guys have no freaking power. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. But it's tough, man. This Yankee team tried to balance it out with higher batting averages and slugging, and instead they just completely nerfed their entire strategy. And I think that's kind of the problem here. So I'd love to find a guy. Maybe if the Yankees can go out and get a slugger and a guy like Luis Rengifo, we could get back up a little bit. Hopefully Gleyber turns things around and we get some pitching support back. I think that the pitching is going to be okay. I think getting Clark Schmidt, Cody Poteet back, and Ian Hamilton will be okay. I think we do have to add another bullpen arm, but I think that the reinforcements will be good enough to get us over the hump, at least for the long term. But guys, I'm always happy to hear your thoughts below in the YouTube comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe as always. And we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.
Perfect.